Welcome back to Enlightened Trading. This is Conrad, and addition to my latest videos, I will show you a bit closer outlook on Bitcoin and how it performed in the last day, basically. So we had what I wanted to see, or what I was looking for. We had this descending trend line on the 4-hour and on the hourly, as you can see, with quite a few touches, and at the bottom it wasn't too clear. I actually drew a trend line, and it didn't really look too well. So we now had basically a double bottom. It's like $20, I think, difference, but not anything significant. So we could call it a double bottom, and now we are forming something like a double top. So we have a very narrow range in which we're trading, and it seems like we are now coming back down. Maybe retest this trend line, confirm this bull flag, and then break out of this resistance right here. That would be quite interesting, and then I would look for further upside, and maybe come back to 8600, or at least 8450 about, and then maybe come back down, form a new higher low, and then maybe into something like an ascending triangle to reverse this price action. At least that's what I'm looking for now. This could still be moving into a bigger bear flag and have more downside, but that's not what I see right here. I see that we actually came up and are now dropping, but I think this could hold, but the price is king, and I will looking at what it does. So until then, well, Ethereum, this is not looking too good, to be honest. We are up to 5% ish, or we have been up to 5%, but this does look like a bear flag to me, and it's much more clear than Bitcoin is. And if we go to Litecoin, we are still in this consolidation period while we broke out. Ethereum did the recent highs, and on Litecoin too, on BCH, it's interesting because we have a very clear line of resistance, and we actually are making higher lows. So this looks quite tradable in my opinion. You don't have to rush into anything, but this does look like an ascending triangle, at least for now. So we should keep that in mind. US, more of a bear flag than anything else for now, and XLM, yeah, nothing too important like CRX2. So yeah, we are actually dropping. So this could be interesting. What happens right here? If we see a bounce of around 1850, if we do, then this would be interesting. It would confirm this trend line, confirm this bull flag, and this is maybe see further upside. If we don't, then this is a double top and a double bottom. Then we have a very narrow range, or a very narrow, like basically $1,000, not $800 of a range. So like 10%, in which we could still form some sort of consolidation pattern in the near future. What does is important is that we closed this big down candle on the weekly basically at the bottom. And if we have our moving averages, then we are just waking off of the 100 weekly moving average like perfectly. So this seems like it's rather important resistance. But it's important that we also closed quite far from the 21 weekly moving average. So this should be also kept in mind that this week closed basically right at the bottom. So that is a bearish indicator. If you look at candlesticks and if you respect their formations, just like this huge doji we had on the top, which I looked at quite closely. So off of that, on the RSI we do have some sort of trend forming on the weekly. A trend line right here. We did break some very important support, which I actually thought would hold, since it has been, as you can see, resistance in the past, support in the past, resistance, and well, it just went right through it. So this actually is quite major in RSI analysis. So also important to look at. And what could happen on the awesome oscillator right here is that we could just basically slowly have price action, maybe creep up or just consolidate right here before we see further upside or downside, and just maybe get this a little bit into the negative. This doesn't have to mean that we are falling in price. As you can see from here, we actually climbed in price and it was still in the negative, so you don't have to use this, or it doesn't have to mean anything negative, but it can, of course. So what I would like to see on the awesome oscillator is a reversal sign. So as you can see right here and right here, when we get close to the zero line, then we can look for reversals, and as you can see, if we top out and then just fall back down, that's basically when consolidation tends to happen. So that's what you could look at on the awesome oscillator on the weekly. On the daily, as you can see, we are wicking off of our bottom at 7,700. Still at the same price action. Now our 200 daily moving average acts as resistance now. We wicked off of it a few times. This is the second time. No, not really, but almost second time where we are wicking off of it. So it seems like it's acting as resistance. If we break above it, then that could be a major indicator that we see that we look for retests of the 200 daily moving average, and if it acts as support, then maybe we can see further upside. So it seems like we are picking a little bit off the seems like we have this resistance line which it drew quite nicely, acting here actually on the weekly. As you can remember, I drew this resistance line on the RSI on a weekly, and we actually got just waking off of it, so this is interesting. So I'll delete this for now. Also declining volume. So basically a consolidation phase. this also can move into a descending triangle. It does have a lot of potential, especially if we come back down to this bottom support line. Then we can see this play out as a descending triangle and see further downside to 7,500 about, or even lower maybe. So that's price action for the day. Also a quick outlook on short-term time frames on Coinbase traded cryptos. So yeah, hope I'll be back soon, and see you guys back next time. Bye.